Do you have any concerns for your job in the future with AI, with robotization, with dematerialization of business, and with business disruptors? Because if you do, I would say that this is wise. The question is what can you do about it? In this video, we're going to talk about the three musts. As a young man, I learned proving out principles. And what you do is you take something that resonates with you and you put it into your life and see if it works with you. When it resonates with you, you don't have to fight your own ego. Your ego accepts it. So now you have to put it in your life and see if it works. So when I prove out principles, I prove out ideas, I normally give it anywhere from 90 days to 3 years to see if it works for me. As a young man, I saw Norman Vincent Peale and Og Mandino, who wrote a lot of books, The Greatest Salesperson in the World, University of Success, and I was introduced with the concept, always go the extra mile. Now, this is simplistic. I learned about it 40 years ago, but the point is when you always go the extra mile, it works. So when I learned the principle as a young man, what I did is I went to work early and the boss noticed me. I stayed engaged all day long and the boss noticed me. I stayed late and the boss noticed me. And then when they laid off other people, they kept me because I was more valuable. When you always go the extra mile, what you're doing is you're defying most of the people that are taking the path of least resistance. So what this does is this creates contrast. When some people are doing the bare minimum, what you're doing is you're always going above and beyond, and this puts you on the radar of somebody positive. It also makes you feel good inside. When I went into back in the day when I was in the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union, I would be intense. I would stay fully engaged all day long, and I felt good about myself that I put in a great amount of effort and passion. Oftentimes I say as a seminar leader, 80% of success is what? This is like Woody Allen before we knew the bad things about him. 80% of success is simply showing up. How many people do not show up for their job? How many people do not show up for their family? When you show up, you have enthusiasm. When you always go the extra mile, what this does is this gives me enthusiasm. So now I stay engaged and now I have a reason and it becomes a way of life. So now what you're doing is you're creating contrast with zero effort because you've adopted this precept of always go the extra mile. I oftentimes emphasize the word always. Always is an absolute. Have you ever had your mate or your partner say you always or every time? And I go, always? Every time? Not always, not every time. Always means always. So if your dog just died, you still go the extra mile. Your kid's going through stuff in school, you still go the extra mile. If you're dying, your parents dying of cancer, or you have cancer, you still go the extra mile. Now I know it's not simple, but in this case, always means always. So what I do is I do my best to bring it. And I know that in this world today, if you are more valuable, you are less likely to use your job because the more valuable you are, the more that your boss, your employer is going to keep you. The second tenet is to be adaptable. Would you rather have a fixed mindset or would you rather have an open mindset? Who do you think is going to do better with change? A person with a fixed mindset or a person with an open mindset? The open mindset will do better with change because they don't have that fixed mindset. If you're stubborn in one area, you're probably stubborn in a lot of areas. One of the sayings I've been teaching for years is how you do anything is how you do everything. So how you do anything is how you do everything is how most people become automated and they become a series of habits. So what they do is they drive to work the same way. This brings them certainty and safety. They go to the same restaurant. This brings them certainty and safety. They don't even have to look at the menu. This brings them certainty and safety. They think the same thoughts. 90 to 95% of our thoughts are the same thoughts. This brings us certainty. There's an acronym I teach called TEAR. Thoughts create emotions, and emotions create actions, and actions create results. So if this metaphoric tear, like I'm crying, a tear, 90 to 95% of my thoughts are the same, 90 to 95% of my emotions are the same, 90 to 95% of my actions are the same, 90 to 95% of my results are the same. So as a corporate sales trainer, I tell people if you don't do anything new, you're not going to get anything new. So the ego's purpose is to keep us alive. The ego's purpose is to protect us. So the ego prefers safety over unsafety. So it prefers the known driving the same way to work as opposed to the unknown. What it does is it prefers the known going to the same restaurant versus the unknown, a different restaurant. What it prefers is the same dish at your favorite restaurant versus the unknown, a different dish that you haven't had. This is the ego's self-preservation response. So when you understand that the ego wants to stay the same, the ego wants certainty, and certainty equates to safety, and safety equates to living longer, learning how to be adaptable. Whenever you learn something new, you're going to have to rewire your brain. And whenever you rewire your brain, it's going to cause frustration, and your ego is going to want to go back to the old way, to the 95% of the thoughts, as opposed to the new way of thinking. So this is where you have to have the ability to accept frustration, because whenever you learn something new, you're going to go through a period of frustration. Whenever we have a new way that the world operates, we're going to go through a period of frustration. And the frustration is a natural part of the learning curve. That's why you learn to accept it. So oftentimes when I go to people and we're doing corporate acquisitions, I'll have the team say, I accept frustration. Say that with me, please. And they say, I accept frustration. And I say it again, please. And they say, I accept frustration. And if you can accept frustration, it will make the transition easier. So in today's world, the more adaptable you are, the more open-minded you are, the better you're going to do in today's world, because change is happening so quick, so fastly, that if you don't keep up and you have a fixed mindset and want to stay caught in the past, the certainty, the known, you're not going to be able to keep up. So it's having the ability to live in the uncertainty, live in the unknown, and not only live in it, but welcome it and have the ability to accept frustration. Or the mantra I've been practicing is loving into the unknown, because I don't want to love parts of my life. I want to love all of my life. And when I learn to love the unknown, I'm integrating with it. And as I'm integrating with it, I'm gaining wisdom at a quicker rate, as opposed to resisting it. No, I don't want the unknown. No, I don't want change. No, don't let this happen. Let me go back to the good old days, the safe days. No, that's the old world. Live in the present moment and welcome the unknown, because the unknown is coming whether you want it to or not. So having the ability, number one, be valuable. Number two, be adaptable. And number three, understand how to fit in, how to fit in with the people that you are, how to fit in with your team. Your boss, your employer is going to keep the person they like and trust over the person that produces more. So you have to learn how to play the sacred game of life. When in Rome, do as the Romans. And this is having the ability to understand human nature. We are a conforming species. A lot of our behaviors are to conform to survive. Sometimes we're nice people because we don't want to be ostracized from the group. There's a technique in sales called the herd technique, or consensus, where people want to be like everybody else, keeping up with the Joneses. So when you understand this, having the ability to fit in, to be a team player, to be able to play in somebody else's ballpark or sandbox is critical in today's world. So having the ability to be cohesive versus disruptive, unless you have an outlier boss that wants disruptiveness, you want to learn to be able to fit in and communicate in a smooth manner, say your truth, have the ability to put lines in the sand in a diplomatic manner so that you have the ability to fit in. And these are, I consider, are the three musts in today's world. You must be valuable, you must be adaptable, and you must have the ability to fit in, have this social smoothness to stay relevant in today's market. And if you practice the three must, you will definitely stay employed longer, and you will probably make it through the transition as the earth transitions into this AI world, this automated world, all of the unknown. And don't forget to love into the unknown.